Hey guys, and welcome to the second episode of ESO Saturday. Today we're going to be covering lots of stuff, but before we get into it, I wanted to just thank all my subscribers, everyone who's subscribed, because the amount of subscribers I have almost doubled this week, and it was just so awesome. I had 47 at the beginning of the week, and now I have 75, and that's just so amazing. If you guys didn't see it, I put an advertisement on the Shoddycast, which is a great channel. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend doing it. But I have an advertisement there, and I think that helped me get a lot of subscribers. But I really just want to thank the subscribers who have been here from the beginning and the new ones for subscribing. You guys this is the reason I do this, because I want to create a community, and I love making videos and talking to you guys about stuff that I enjoy to talk about. So I just really want to thank everyone who's subscribed, people who have subscribed in the past and subscribe now. And I also just want to thank everyone who commented on my videos and just gave me some nice feedback, or any feedback. But just those nice words are really just what it really makes it all worth it. I mean, I love doing videos, but I spend like 4 hours a night on most nights uploading videos and doing audio and editing and just words like that, and it just really makes it all worth it, and it's the reason why I started doing this in the first place, just to have people to talk to about the games and really just create a community. So I want to thank you guys so much for that, and let's get into the agenda for this week. So this week we'll be covering lots of stuff. We'll be covering the new Emperor armor that came out. That's just a little short thing. But then I also wanted to cover the Emperor in general, the skill line he's going to have, how you become Emperor, and all stuff like that. We're going to be talking about the loot system and some problems with it. We're going to be talking about legendary weapons and like Daedric artifacts and stuff like that. We're going to be talking about pre-order bonuses, and then we're going to be going into the Cyrodiil Keep article that was just released on the Elder Scrolls Online website, and then we'll be going to the developer question of the week, and then I'll answer some subscriber questions. So thanks for everyone who sent in a question. I think it was only one person, but thanks a lot, and let's just get into it. So now let's talk about one of the only things that they actually released this week, which is a new concept art for the Emperor armor. So I actually really like the armor. I like the ruby in the middle. It looks kind of like the Amulet of Kings. I think they did a good job with it. I like how it kind of looks not too fancy. It kind of looks like an emperor who's been fighting on the battlegrounds, which obviously the player who becomes the emperor will have to do. So I really like it. One thing that I'd like them to do is that if they could have more than one option, so maybe they could have that option, also maybe one that had gold on it, you know, just so when you become emperor you have some choices of what armor you wear, not just that one. I think it'd be nice, because otherwise you're really sort of stricken to that one armor set, which, I mean, it's still the emperor armor set, so it'll be pretty awesome to wear, but I still think they should have more than one option, just so you can still kind of customize your way your character looks, even if you're the emperor. I think that'd be cool. But tell me what you guys think of it in the comments. Some people didn't think it was flashy enough. Personally, I really like it, but I also kind of like the gritty look of armor. I don't really like the flashy stuff. But just tell me what you guys think. It definitely looks more sort of, I don't know, not flashy at all, not like other MMOs, but I like it. I think it fits the in the battle emperor that the person who becomes emperor in Elder Scrolls Online will have to be. So since there wasn't a lot of information released this week, I figured I'd just talk more about being the emperor, talk about some of the special abilities you'll be able to get, just because it's the one thing they released this week. And I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot about being the emperor in PvP, so I thought this would be a good time to cover it. So, first of all, how do you become the emperor? So, the person who becomes the emperor, their alliance has to be in power. They have to control the most keeps and control Cyrodiil. And then you also have to have the highest alliance score of your Cyrodiil campaign. So, you don't have to have the highest alliance score, most alliance points within your alliance, just and with the people who are playing in your version of Cyrodiil, because not everyone's playing this same Cyrodiil, obviously. So that's how you become emperor. So obviously it's going to be really hard to become emperor, and it lasts for a really short time, so you're going to be dethroned once you die, log out, or even leave PvP. So being an emperor is definitely a short time thing. It's not something where one guy will be the emperor for like a month, unless they stay in Cyrodiil for a month, which I don't think is possible. But you could do it, I guess. But anyway, I think people who become emperor will only be emperor for like a day at the most. So it's really a short-lived thing unless you become Emperor again, which is possible. But when you are Emperor, you'll get access to a special skill line that they've made just for the Emperor. And even once you're dethroned, you'll get to keep it, but the abilities will be much less powerful. And I'll tell you guys all about the skill line right now. So the skill line really is made to help your alliance maintain control of Cyrodiil. So what it does is it gives you the ability to help your team while sieging. You can knock down walls faster. It makes the siege weapons more efficient. And that's pretty much all they've announced so far. They haven't released all the skills that are going to be in the skill line like they have with like all the other classes. But we do know that it will probably just help your alliance. I doubt there'll be any special personal abilities. There might be a couple, but I doubt there'll be that many. So let's move on to some of my ideas for the Emperor and some things that I hope they add before launch or after launch. So one thing is, I would love if there was some sort of commander mode. Like, I know this is weird, but kind of like in Battlefield 4. I know it's weird to compare an MMO to Battlefield 4. But anyway, what a commander mode would do would be like allow you to tell your troops where to go, what sieges to, what keeps to siege, who to attack. You could, I don't know, maybe even like bring people into Cyrodiil or tell people who are in your alliance areas. Like, say you're on the Aberrant Heart Pack, you could tell some people wandering around in Skyrim that you need their help, and like sort of bring in reinforcements. But anyway, it would give you the ability to sort of put in some tactics and tell your players where to go and just really control a battlefield. Now, a great place I think for this would be is if you could like do this while you're sitting on your throne in the White Gold Tower, which will be available to go inside after the game is released as post-launch content. That's going to be coming after the game is launched. But I think if you were sitting in your throne, maybe looking at a map, and then you could sort of control your troops from there, or tell them where to go, and then your troops would get extra points for doing the things you tell them to do. I think that would be really cool. That would be something I would love to see. I think it would help the whole Emperor get special abilities to help them control, stay in power, and help their alliance stay in power. I think that would be really cool, and I would really love to see that. So, just like I said, I think it'd be cool if the Emperor had sort of a place to stay in the White Gold Tower once that is released. It'd be cool if they could even have like a special player house there, even though there aren't player houses in the game at launch. Once they add the White Gold Tower, I think it'd be cool if the Emperor could sleep there for the time he is Emperor and stay there. I think that would be really awesome, and it's something I really hope they do add once they add the White Gold Tower. And maybe just when they add player house into the game. But hopefully we do see all those things, and I'm really excited for that. And tell me what you guys think about those ideas in the comments below. So now let's talk about the article on keeps that came out this week. So I'm just gonna be going over all the things that I think are important and the things that really interest me in the news that came out that we didn't already know about. So first, the article was mostly on designing the keeps, how they did that, what the keeps are going to be like. And so what they really pushed for the keeps was multi-stage battles. So like it allows the attackers and the defenders to have multiple like chances to either attack or defend the keep. So if attackers get through, let's say, the front door, not everything is lost. They still have time to defend the keep. Or if the attackers sort of are pushed back after the attack, it's not that hard to push a counterattack forward. So that's really cool, and it's something that it's not like it's just like two sides firing at each other. There's going to be sort of different layers of battle, which is really cool. So another thing they mentioned in this article is that there's no player collision. So if I run into another character, I'm just going to go through him. I'm not going to like bump into him and not be able to go through him. And I think some people might have a problem with that because it's unrealistic, but I think when you have 200 people on a screen, it'd be easy to get like trapped within like a mass of people. So I understand why they did that, and I'm actually kind of happy that's in the game. So let's talk about the actual keep layout. So at first they said they had multi-floor keeps, but they realized that the stairs were sort of places where everyone sort of bunched up and there was like a huge mass of people firing at each other. And if you've played Battlefield, especially Operation Metro, that'll sound really familiar. But anyway, so they moved to more of the single floor layout, and that's cool. I think that will be a lot better than the multi-floor layout, because I've experienced in games when there's like 64 people or more than that, and there's like a staircase, and you end up with one team on the top of the staircase, one team at the bottom, and they're just charging at each other, and no one ever makes any headway. So I'm glad that they moved to the single floor keeps. So let's talk about the art design of the keeps. So at first they just designed the like sort of layout of the keeps, and then they really focused on the art. So a lot of the art is inspired by Oblivion. They said the artist played Oblivion a lot, just looked for inspiration, looked at the architecture. So a lot of the keeps have architecture that's inspired by buildings we saw in Oblivion, which is really cool. They also mentioned that we'll see familiar buildings from Oblivion, which is so awesome. If you haven't watched my world design video, I did that like a month ago. But I'm really excited to see what like Skyrim looks like 1,000 years before, you know, the game Skyrim. I'm really interested to see like how they deal with like the forest. Like they said that like in places where there are huge trees in Skyrim, there'll be like little tiny saplings, and that's something that's really awesome. And I really hope they pay a lot of attention to detail, because people who spent like 200 hours in Skyrim or like more, or probably like 300 like me, they're really gonna know the landscape, and it'll be obvious if they didn't pay any attention to the previous landscape in other games. But it sounds like they are, and that's super exciting, and I'm really excited to just compare the two different versions of Skyrim and Oblivion and all the other places we've already seen. So let's talk about how you actually capture a keep. So there are 2 flags in different locations within the keep, and you have to get inside the keep and sort of control the flag. So you have to have people near the flag, and then it just takes a certain amount of time to capture it, and then you just have to obviously defend it from other people trying to take it. So another thing you'll have to think about when you're taking a keep is that if you knock down a wall, it's not instantly gonna repair itself when you take over the keep. So you could totally destroy all the walls to a keep, you know, bust in and take the flag, and that's great, you captured it. But now you have to be careful, because the counterattacks, the walls are already open. They don't have to use the siege equipment to open to, you know, knock down the walls. So you have to be really careful what you destroy when you're invading a keep. And I really think that system is really cool, and I can't wait to try it out. So let's talk about NPCs. So they already announced that they already said in the past that there's going to be NPC guards, and you know, holding your farm will make your NPC guards stronger. They said in the article that they did this because they didn't want like an empty keep where people could just go and take it and then they have it. They wanted at least some defense, and I think that's a really good idea. They said the NPCs aren't going to be really challenging to fight. Maybe they will provide some sort of challenge, but it's not going to be like, it's not going to be as hard as taking down other players. And I think that's the way it should be, because it is an NPC, and if one team isn't paying attention to one of their keeps, I think it should be easier to take it than if they were. So that was pretty much all they said about the keeps. You guys can check out the article on the Elder Scrolls Online website, and let's move on. Since there's nothing else that they really released this week, I thought I'd cover just some stuff that I wanted to personally cover, just because I'm really excited about it, or I think there's some stuff that needs to be changed about it before the game comes out. So let's just start with the loot system. So this is something I've wanted to make a video on for a while, but haven't really gotten around to it, so I figured I'd put it in the podcast. So the loot system right now is, in my opinion, really bad. So the loot is all going to be randomized. So you could go up to someone like this NPC that you just killed that had the most awesome armor in the game. You kill them and they have like rags on them. So if you've played Elder Scrolls games in the past, it'll probably sound really unfamiliar to you. And in Elder Scrolls games, we've always known if you kill someone with Daedric armor, you can take it if you're high enough level. But if someone's wearing something that you want and you kill them, you get to take it. And that's something that I really liked about the Elder Scrolls games. I really liked the inventory system where you could just take stuff from people and you would know it's what they have. So like, if you see someone with armor you want, you could kill them. I remember I was trying to collect every armor in the game, and I took some armor from some guards in every hold, and it was just something that I really loved doing because I got to collect all the armor and I knew that I could get it from them if I killed them. And that's just something that was really satisfying about, you know, all Elder Scrolls games. But that's not going to be Elder Scrolls Online, at least not right now, which kind of sucks because it's honestly something that's been in every Elder Scrolls game. And it's kind of disappointing that it's not going to make it to Elder Scrolls Online. It's kind of, I find it kind of weird that they're doing that, especially when they're saying this is an Elder Scrolls games first and an MMO second. But I mean, it's really disappointing. It's something that I feel really has to be added to the game to make it feel like an Elder Scrolls game. So another thing that people are wondering is there looting in PvP? Can you loot other players that you kill? And you cannot loot anyone in PvP. It's not like they're even going to have randomized loot. You can't, if you kill someone in PvP, you can't loot them at all. And, I mean, I don't really mind that. It would be cool if in PvP they had randomized loot so you got some kind of reward for killing people. but I don't think it's a huge deal, because if you want stuff, you're probably not going to go into PvP to get your new armor. You're probably going to be playing the main story or side quests, or just exploring the world trying to find new armor. So personally, I don't really care about there being no loot system in PvP. I know some people are really bummed out about it. Me, just like some other people, I don't really care, like I said. But I don't really see why they couldn't add it. It's really probably simple to add since they've already done it for NPCs. It would just be as simple as adding randomized loot to someone's dead body, so I don't think it'd be that hard. So let's move on to other things about the loot system. So once pickpocketing comes out, and this is assuming it will come out with the crime system and everything, some people are wondering, can you pickpocket other players? And I doubt that you can. I mean, again, if you can pickpocket other players, my guess is that it'd be randomized. It's not like you're just gonna like go up to someone and take like, I don't know, all their gold. I mean, that would really suck, and then you check your inventory and you have nothing. That definitely is not gonna happen. I almost guarantee it. So I'm sure that if there is pickpocketing other players, it's gonna be completely just gonna be completely randomized. But I don't think you'll be able to pickpocket other players, especially if you can't loot their dead bodies. But you will probably be able to pickpocket NPCs, and again, that will probably be randomized, especially since once you kill someone, it's gonna be randomized. So I definitely would not expect to be able to see someone with something you want and be able to take it from them through pickpocketing once that's added in the game. And keep in mind, that's not coming in the game till the crime system's coming, which, I don't know, it's probably going to be one of the earlier additions, but I'm not quite sure on that. So that's pretty much it for the loot system. So now let's talk about the legendary weapons in Elder Scrolls Online. Now, legendary weapons is something that's always been in Elder Scrolls. We've always had legendary weapons in Elder Scrolls games. We had Daedric artifacts like the Wabbajack, the Mace of Morgul Ball. We had the Blade of Woe. That wasn't a Daedric artifact, but we've always had weapons that are sort of special. They're better. We had Shilrend. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's just a huge list of special weapons and unique weapons that weren't just, you know, the standard ebony blade or something like that. We've always had special weapons, and I think we should definitely have them in Elder Scrolls Online. So, undoubtedly, there'll probably be some weapons with names. That doesn't mean that there's only one in the universe, or one in Tamriel, and you're gonna be the one having it. I doubt we'll be able to just, like, you know, take the Wabbajack from finding it and be able to keep it for the rest of the game. That's definitely not gonna happen. And that's something I'm really kind of sad about, but I get why they couldn't make that work. So now you might ask, like, how can you use the Wabbajack, or how can you use special Daedric artifacts? My guess is that there's gonna be quests where, say, a Sherigrath gives you the Wabbajack to use for just that quest, and then you have to return at the end of the quest, and it'll just be instant, so, you know, people could be doing the quest at the same time and have the Wabbajack, and then they'll have to return it. But really, I doubt we'll be able to use, like, the Staff of Morgul Ball in PvP, and you'll be the only one who has it, and people will be, like, looking at it and thinking you're like a god. That is definitely not gonna happen, and I mean, I get why that couldn't happen. This legendary weapons, though, there could be weapons in the game that are like really hard to find and that are unique without being weapons we've seen before. So there could be weapons that are really hard to get. Like in Guild Wars 2, there were legendary weapons that were really hard to get and they looked really cool. But it wasn't necessarily that no one else in the game could have a legendary weapon or had the same weapon as you. They couldn't have similar looks. So if there is some sort of legendary weapon system in Elder Scrolls Online, I'm sure it'll be just like the Guild Wars 2 one. I'm hoping that there is one just because it's awesome to have to work for this sword that looks, you know, cooler than everyone else's and just looks amazing. And I really hope that we have that in the game because it's just something that's really cool. It's fun to work forward to, you know, getting all the materials, having to craft it. It's something that's really fun. Now, this doesn't just go for legendary weapons, it goes for, like, I don't know, armors, it also goes for, like, mounts like Shadowmere. Not everyone's going to be able to ride around in Shadowmere, which is disappointing because it was so awesome. But, like, again, maybe in the Dark Brotherhood quest line, you get to use them for one quest, and then, you know, the leader of the Dark Brotherhood takes them back after that one quest. Again, you won't be able to keep him and ride him around like you did in Skyrim, which is disappointing again. But, you know, it's just something we'll have to deal with, and it's kind of one of the things that Elder Scrolls Online gets sort of, I don't know, limited by with it being an MMO. Some things just aren't possible that were possible in a single-player game. So I just wanted to do a quick section on possible pre-order bonuses. So, Elder Scrolls Online comes out April 4th, so the pre-order should come out, I don't know, probably like next month. And that's part of why I'm doing an Elder Scrolls Online giveaway, because I wanted to make sure that people get the pre-order bonuses as soon as the pre-order goes out, and I'll tell you why. Because one of the major pre-order bonuses is probably going to be reserving your character's name. And I know a lot of people who watch my videos are role players, so I didn't want them to have to wait to claim their name for their characters. So I thought I'd do the giveaway now, so I could give away the game as soon as it comes on pre-order. So claiming your character's name or reserving a name is pretty much a pre-order for almost every MMO. But I'm guessing there'll probably be another bonus. We know ESO is going to have an in-game store, so I'm pretty sure we might get some in-game gold. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Maybe even some special armor if they feel like doing that. I probably doubt the armor thing, but definitely reserving your character's name and the in-game money, and we'll probably see what the actual pre-order bonus is probably next month, because like I said, it will go on pre-order probably like 3 months before it's actually released. So now let's move on to the developer question of the week.
Hi, I'm Jeff Leininger, and I'm a content designer on The Elder Scrolls Online. Here's your developer question for the week. When you visit Cyrodiil in The Elder Scrolls Online, you'll find yourself in a vast landscape full of opportunities and danger. What are you looking forward to the most? Sieging keeps with your alliance? Finding locations that you recognize from Oblivion? Exploring dungeons with your friends? Or something else?
So PvP has made me really excited for an Elder Scrolls Online. I can't wait to return to Cyrodiil, and I think the PvP is going to be different from a lot of other games. I really like how this one is fighting in a part of Tamriel over control of it. It's going to feel a lot like PlanetSide 2, I think, but you know, without guns and stuff. But I'm really excited for the PvP, but what I'm most excited for, I think, is playing with my guild in PvP. My guild is going to be PvP orientated. So I'm really excited for that, but other than playing with my guild in Cyrodiil, I really am excited for like small battles. I can't wait to like sort of sneak up on an enemy, maybe like an enemy farm, and just take all the guys in there and capture it for my team. I am still excited for the huge battles. I am afraid that the huge battles might be a little too chaotic. Maybe there'll be too many people and it'll just end up being everyone just sort of fighting within like a huge mess, and it won't be fun. You know, I'll have to wait to see that, but I'm really excited just to, you know, go to a farm, just kill everyone there, and just take it over for my team, and that's really exciting. So I guess the answer would be really just playing with my guild, but other than that, playing sort of with a small group of people, taking things together and using teamwork, and just, you know, helping our team just as a guild, and really just, you know, I'm looking forward to bonding with people and making friendships. But really, in terms of gameplay, I'm really excited just to do small-sided battles. Not saying that I won't be doing huge battles. I'm just really excited that they've made a system where you can fight in huge battles and still have the small-sided battles where you sneak up on people, kill them, and take their sort of keep. That's really exciting. And it's really cool. It's a really great system that they've made. It's not a lot of MMOs that let you play small battles and huge battles in the same sort of, I don't know, area. So, you know, in Guild Wars 2, you had to pick whether you wanted to do world versus world or sort of a smaller player versus player thing. And I'm really excited that you can just enter Cyrodiil and do whatever you want in this game. And that's something that really excites me about PvP. So our first and only question is from John Paul Boyle, and he asks, do you think the balancing system that is in place will work or just completely suck? Thank you for answering my question, and I hope your YouTube channel takes off and becomes very popular. So they've done a lot of things to try to balance the PvP, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that and then answer his overall question. So one thing that I'm doing for like individual players to balance that is, let's say you're a level 10 and you just got access to PvP and you join right away, and then there's like a level 50. It wouldn't be fair if they just like, you know, fought each other, because obviously the level 50 would win. So what they're doing is they're going to level the level 10 up to match the level 50, so it's a fair fight. But where the level 50 will still have an advantage and still be rewarded for leveling more than the level 10, because he'll have access to all his skills, because obviously if he's a level 50 he's going to go farther in different skill lines than the level 10 is gone, because he's only gotten the basic skills, while the level 50 has probably maxed out some skill lines. So he's going to be able to use those skills, but the level 10 is still going to be restricted to the skills he's unlocked. So that is where the level 50 will still be rewarded for being leveled up. And I think this will work good. I'm glad that they have some sort of balancing system or leveling up system for lower levels, because otherwise it would just be completely unfair. We'll have to see how much of an advantage being farther in the skill lines will give a player, because I'm pretty sure they'll give a really good advantage, because I mean, obviously if you're using the entry skills, you're not going to be able to compete with like maxed out skill lines. So we'll have to see how that works and if it causes any problems. I'm sure that all the problems with balancing though will be ironed out by launch, because they've been beta testing this game for just so long, and that's maybe one of the biggest things that'll be ironed out is balancing and bugs. But balancing will definitely be fixed. So let's talk about faction balancing. So there are 3 alliances, and obviously not all alliances are going to have the same number of people. We've seen the Ebonheart is really popular just because, you know, Skyrim just came out and people want to be in that area. The Altmary Dominion, I think, has a lot of sort of a cult following. A lot of the really hardcore role players and sort of dedicated players are joining there just because not a lot of people have. And then I think the Daggerfall Covenant is really sort of, no one's going to join. I mean, some people are going to join, but I think it's going to be the least popular faction. So all the factions would be unbalanced, and obviously the Ebonheart Pact would have a huge advantage if they didn't do anything to balance the factions. So let's talk about that right now. So the first thing they're doing to balance the factions is that there's an alliance cap. So let's say the campaign in Citadel can fit, I don't know, 5,000 people, and that's just like a guess, that's not confirmed or anything. They don't want like one alliance to have 4,000 people and the other to have 500. So there are caps on how many each alliance can have. But that doesn't necessarily mean that one alliance, that all the alliances are going to be full and they're all going to have the same amount of players. It just means that one can't completely dominate the population. Now what they're doing to give the smaller alliances some bonuses is that they'll get more points for taking keeps from the team that's winning. So let's say the Ebonheart Pack is just completely dominating because they have more people. So we've seen balancing systems like this in the past. PlanetSide 2 had a system that was almost identical to this, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. So going back to his question, I think that Elder Scrolls Online will be pretty balanced at launch. I don't know if this system is going to work great, you know, we're just going to have to wait and see. But just because the game is going to be in beta just for so long by the time it comes out, I'd be really surprised if they didn't iron out some of the balancing issues. But honestly, only time can tell, and we'll just have to wait till the game comes out to tell. But because the game was in beta so long, I am going to say that I bet the balancing system is going to work. So thank you guys for watching the whole podcast. One thing I did want to mention is Bethesda just updated their store. A lot of cool stuff just in time for Christmas. Some Fallout stuff, Dishonored stuff, a lot of cool Skyrim stuff. I know a lot of stuff on my Christmas list is from that website. So just make sure you guys check that out. It looks really awesome. And in terms of video this week, I'll definitely have another podcast coming out on Saturday. In terms of video this week, I'll be uploading a video every day except Tuesday and Wednesday, because I'm taking those days to spend time with my family for Christmas Eve and Christmas. If you guys are celebrating the holiday, have a great Christmas. If you guys aren't, just have a great week and enjoy yourselves. Hopefully I will see you in the next one, guys, and thank you so much for watching.